So I think now we'll give an opportunity for you to ask the questions. If you have any questions that you feel we haven't covered, this is now the opportunity. Okay, there's a hand. Oh, there's a couple of hands.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to this lady. Please tell us who you are.
Good day, my name is Tabisile Dlamini. I would like to ask Ms. Chauke 2 questions. The first one, I would like to know what is the acceptable volumes for a site that is both new and existing to assist DMPR to make a decision to give the site and retail license. The second one, I would like to know the process for the license for the LPG business wholesale that has storage. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Nomcebo Giani, and I have a question for Ms. Chauke. I'd like to find out if it is necessary for one to get and expect like a consultant to actually complete and submit an application for them, or is it a process that one can do, especially or particularly in the retail space? Thank you.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I have a question for Sipho. My question is, does Sasol have like ready to occupy sites, or is the onus on the potential franchisee to sort of find the site?
She spoke about your partnerships that you currently have, Seattle, Burger King, etc. I have noticed at your sites that you have KFC, Steers, etc. What are the partnership agreement structures around the other convenience outlets? That was not mentioned. She's not here, but you can deal with it later. My other one is for David. On the issue of PTOs, you know that there is an issue with PTOs and its registration with rural development and so on. You were talking about the suspensive conditions around zoning, retail site licenses, bulk water. Does Sasol actually help the prospective retailer to actually meet those suspensive conditions in the event that it is not there? My third question is to Sipho. Sipho, your presentation contradicts the lady that spoke about environmental impact. You're talking about sizes of 4,000 square meters. I mean, 4,000 square meters is big for a retail site. She spoke about 80,000 capacities. 4,000 talk about 400,000 capacities. I just want that dichotomy to be dealt with for me, because I do think that if you look at the difference between your NTIs and NTCs, any NTI that come in at a 4,000 square meter capacity has got very deep pockets. If you guys are allowing, for example, white sites, right, to trade and to rebrand, etc., they're probably not going to come in at 4,000. You're probably looking at around 250, 300,000 volume capacity, and you're probably looking at much smaller sizes. 4,000 seems rather a bit off. Thank you very much.
Sipho spoke about land that can be leased when you want to develop a service station. How long, or what's the minimum years of a lease that you require to then be able to run a service station? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. So I'm just going to quickly, there was a question regarding QSRs. If you can just pause your question. We have Landiwe who will come in a bit later to just talk about the QSRs, the partnerships that we have, and she will unpack that, then you can have time to ask your questions. Is that okay? Thank you. Then, I'm gonna blame her because she said QSR. So it's quick service restaurants. This is now when you will find we have your KFCs, your Steers, and in the same service station where we operate. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with you.
Okay, I would really like to apologize for using the abbreviations. And I think me and Buhle this morning, we discussed this, that we need to bring it home. So, but because we're doing this every day, so it will just come
It
out.
left.
So when we talk about NPV, it's your net present value calculation. When we bring it home, it's your projected income statement where you project how much volumes you're going to do, how much sale will you make, and your cost of sales, and then your expenses, and then what profit are you going to make from that. So the first question coming with regard to the acceptable volumes. Remember, the service station differ with size and differ with the investment that you are putting in. So we also take into consideration where you are really based, because in a case where he has mentioned Limpopo in Guyana, you cannot compare it with the site in Sandton. So we look at where you are. We also look at what you're projecting. We also look at what other site closer to you are doing, so that we are able to see that if you're projecting to pump 1 million liters per month, but all the site in that area are pumping around 200,000 liters, where are you going to get those literage? So as well as the design of your forecourt, your capacity determine how much volumes you're going to pump, which will be there already on your feasibility study. And the next question is in regard to the wholesale licenses, where you are interested in LPG and you have a storage facility. So when you have a storage facility, instead of providing a declaration that you will not store your product, you will provide us with a list of the storage facility. It's like the property where you will be operating from. So it's a list of storage facility, the capacity as well of the storage, and you also have to indicate who owns the storage. However, you don't have to provide us with proof of ownership of the storage, just to indicate who owns the storage. And with regard to appointing a consultant, the good thing with our process is it's a very easy process. We have 9 regional offices, which you can walk in at any time. You don't have to make an appointment. And we have very experienced energy officers who will take you through the process, and we're there as well to support you all the time. Where you have questions, what documents you need to submit, we're always there. And we also conduct awareness campaigns in each province, where you can also come join, where we also invite all relevant stakeholders. But if you feel that you do not have time to package the application and all that, you can appoint a consultant, but it's something that you can do it on your own.
Thank you, Ms. Chauke. Thank you. Done your questions. Let's go to Mr. Mtsweni.
Yeah. Sorry, I think there was a question around the 4,000 versus the 80,000. I don't think there's confusion there. So when I was talking about the 4,000, I'm talking about the length of the size. And when Liesl was talking about the sub-80, she was referring to the tank capacity in terms of less than 80,000, less than 80,000. So when you build the site, there's 2 elements. So you project in terms of how much you're gonna sell. Let's say the site projections is around 500,000. So the first thing there, you need to put the bigger tank size. So the current designs and specifications that we have for our latest Mark 5 sites, it's 446s. So that automatically tells you that we're looking at the 138,000 capacity site in terms of the storage, the full storage tank sizes. And then the 80, it's 323s. You're looking at the sites that are pumping probably 300 less or 250 less. I hope I've clarified that question. Happiness? And then the second question was around the period in terms of the lease. The standard lease period for Sasol, it's 15 plus 2 options. So if you do get a lease out there, just make sure that you've got sufficient, probably 30 years, 25, 30 years, and then probably we can renew it as and when we've got opportunities. But the first period, we'll sign the lease for 15 years, and then we will also ask for 2 5-year options that are in favor of an oil company, which is Sasol. And then the last one was around the ready-to-occupy site, I think. So my understanding to your question is saying that Sasol have sites where we can please you now to go and operate. That's the difficult one. So there's 3 operating platforms out there in the industry. There's company-owned sites, company lease sites, developer sites. In fact, there's 4. The last one is dealer-owned, dealer-operated sites. So company-owned site is self-explanatory. It's sites that are owned by Sasol. We own the land, we own the assets and everything. Company lease site, Liesl owns the land. Sasol negotiate with her. She leases the land to Sasol. Sasol develop it. And then this one, and this is where most of our sites are. It's the developer deals where Sipho and Buhle goes into a partnership. Buhle as a developer and as a landowner develops the land. She gives me the tank and the sales building. And then what Sipho did, what Sipho does as part of my scope of work, I do pump and tank, signage, shop fittings, and other elements. And that's where, in fact, our model is. We've got probably most of our sites, that's where we are. We've got developer deals. And that's why I would like to answer your question and say currently it's a bit difficult and probably we don't have the sites that are available. But I know the ops teams, they are working hard in terms of making sure that if there's anything that is available, sometimes we find that there's an opportunity where the operator or the landlord, it's just tired or just want to relocate, will say, Sasol, I'll give you another term in terms of the lease, but I don't know an operator can find the operator. But if after this session, if you can touch base with both, I think Cindy, Lenise, I'm not sure if she's here, that's the team that can help you. I'm not sure if I've missed any other question.
So Sipho, to that point, I think Cindy will be presenting later on in the day. She'll unpack that. Where do you even see the opportunities that we have? All of that she will cover. I think then you can get more detail in that space. Okay, the one on the screen, it says, for an already existing and operating site, does Sasol assist with the cost of rebranding and revamping, or is that for the retailer's account?
We
do you want to take that?
We do. So Sasol owns the signage and we'll prefer to keep it like that. So if we rebrand the site, Sasol will take the full cost of rebranding the site.
Okay, thank you. At what volume, in average, does a fuel station break even? And at a break-even volume, how much does a typical station cost? It's a fully loaded question. So it's dependent on a lot of things, right? For a site to break even to say at what volume. And I think the big part of it being your operating costs. You will have what we call fixed operating cost and you will have variable operating cost. So when you have that, and then you have your margin, which talks to your DMPR guideline of your res margin on what you will get in your forecourt, you can do a calculation and see if my operating cost is X and my margin is Y. You take that operating cost, you divide by your margin, it will give you an indication of what volume you should be breaking even at. So it's not a straight answer because it's not one size fit all. It will depend really on your operating cost. And then the next question was saying, how much what does a typical station cost? So there is a calculation, right? Industry calculation for a service station to cost X. You'll have to understand the volumes that it's pumping, and you'll also do your calculations looking at your operating costs, but there is a formula that you can utilize. But if you do take funding, you must make sure that you are able to pay for that funding within your first 3 years of operating the site. But there is a formula. I think while we are here, I'm taking that my colleagues will be here for the whole day. Please take an opportunity to come to us and ask us if you have any further questions that you need clarity on, or you want to have a one-on-one discussion. I think that will also assist. I think I would leave it here on the questions if that's okay. And then at least give the panelists an opportunity to do your closing remarks. Thank you.
Yeah, so just in closing, I think the environmental matters on a retail site are often neglected, and it's not unique to Sasol. So it's really important that if you are committed to opening a filling station, that you remember about the health and safety and environment factors that have to be taken into account to operate your filling station.
Thank you, Liesl. David?
Yes, maybe 3 points from my side. Traditionally, or in the past, the old measures used to only open accounts for resellers or customers that requires 1 million per month. And that's because now we are aware that generally you need time to develop into 1 million per month. We have reduced that number to quite very small volumes, but of course, don't come to us if you want 10,000 liters. But we have reduced that amount to very low volumes. That's the first part. The second part to that volume is in the industry, it is important to commit volumes, because if you come to us, we commit, we produce, or we produce the volumes, you should be able to move those volumes. So a lot of new players, they find it difficult to do that. What we have in place now in order to assist the new up and coming, we've got a period of up to 12 months that you can come to us. We have built a vehicle on our site, which during that time, even if you don't have firm volumes, we should be able to assist you. That during that time, then you can see the pattern of your customers, and after 12 months, then you can enter into a contract where you can commit those volumes. So that's what we have done. The second point, it's customers. Your customers, we've got a lot of mines that requires suppliers that owned by females and young and youth. What they require is a security of supply, because if you are supplying to a mine, for an example, they will never understand you when people are underground and you say you don't have volumes. So from our side, we are able to give you that commitment, that security of supply. We can hold hands and ensure that we give your customer some form of surety that we should be able to support you when you approach. And that also includes your SOEs. We've got some customers that are supplying SOEs. We support them, and there are some kind of arrangements that we made in order for you to be able to carry them. So we do that. The last point, there was a question on LPG and facilities. There is an opportunity now for especially females that if you've got a facility, if you've got facilities where you are bulk breaking your LPG, for example, into cylinders, and you sell it to hospitality people and all of that, you can see me, I can make note, and we are able, Sasol is able to assist you throughout in order to ensure that you are able to compete in the market. So the statement, which I wrote it down, please don't do it alone. By Stuart, Don Stuart.
Thank you, Mr. Motha. We have a catchphrase. Mr. Stewart has a tendency of giving us catchphrases. So today is don't do it alone. Ms. Chauke.
As it was said that we are the gatekeepers, I would like to remind each and every one, more especially our entrepreneurs, that read your agreements, know your agreements, know what you are signing for, know the model, and please do not breach your contracts. We are here as gatekeepers. Yes, we will assist you with arbitration, but know what you are signing yourself up for. It's important to know the model of the business that you are doing. Even when you wake up in the morning, you must understand that you are running a business. So partnership, as I say, it's important. And once we have issued you with a license as the gatekeeper, please comply with our conditions of the license, and we are available to support you and help you whenever you need our assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chauke. Yeah, I just want to thank my panelists, colleagues. Thank you for your valuable insights, for the learnings that we've all gathered today. I'm hoping you made a lot of notes. And please, when we take a break, come find us and get more detail. The discussion doesn't end here in this room. When we do go out, take the opportunity to ask any of us, and we'll be ready and willing to assist you. Thank you so much for engaging, and thank you for the questions as well.